They say hindsight is 2020, so let's look back at one of the most unique and challenging years of the last century. The year started like any other. December was gone, January was here, New Year's resolutions were being made. We started the year with a rallying cry to be brave, and as a church, we committed to being strong and courageous. When the pandemic hit New Mexico, sagebrushers from around the state rallied to the front lines to encourage doctors and nurses, making sure that they had protective gear to help those who were being impacted. Over 4,000 hand-sewn masks were made and distributed all over the city, and your generosity made it possible for us to distribute over 6,000 other forms of personal protective equipment to local first responders and medical staff. You made signs of encouragement, you distributed food to hospitals, you prayed for and cheered on the health heroes in our communities. But God wasn't done. In 2020, we had the largest food drive that we have ever had in over 2 decades. As a church, you donated 24,000 pounds of food for 40 different food banks that serve our communities. And as if that weren't enough, God provided an opportunity for us to partner with 2 Albuquerque area churches to purchase $70,000 worth of food from Convoy of Hope to feed 1,200 New Mexican families for 2 weeks. Your commitment to those in need has allowed us to serve Christmas dinner for 425 homeless people at the West Side Shelter in Albuquerque. As our medical system continued to buckle under the pressure of the pandemic, sagebrushers donated 374 units of blood for a local blood drive during a critical shortage. You made it possible to mobilize funds to purchase food for our church partner in Egypt to feed starving Egyptians, as well as providing families in Belize with rice and beans and a shipping container of clothing to help sustain them during COVID. Together, we stepped up in a big way to support our partners in Haiti. Our medical outreach in Pagnol, Haiti saw over 1,000 patients in a week. We provided OB/GYN, basic medical, optometry, and dental care to many in need. We also trained a dozen first responders, equipping them to be able to go back into their communities and provide basic care for their people. In November, the country of Nicaragua was devastated by 2 Category 4 hurricanes that made landfall less than 15 miles apart from each other. Your generosity and your faithfulness allowed us to provide 3,000 compassion kits and a shipping container of food packs to our church partners in the country to provide support to their local communities. Children all over the world had presents to open this Christmas because you stepped up and donated 2,500 Christmas boxes for Operation Christmas Child, as well as funding for our ministry partners in Juarez, Mexico to have Christmas gifts for kids in their ministries. 2020 has been more than just providing for the physical needs of others. God opened the door for us to send 1,500 Bibles to a country in the Middle East to spread the good news and love of Christ to an area openly opposed to Christianity. During a worldwide shutdown, God still moved in amazing ways, turning a $50,000 investment into a physical church building in Pochocuape, Nicaragua. He also made it possible to open a permanent facility for our Sagebrush campus in Farmington, serving the Four Corners area. What many see as a time where the church would go dormant, God has ignited a new passion in His people. Across all our Sagebrush campuses, we have seen over 6,000 decisions and next steps taken. Decisions to accept Jesus and cross the line of faith, and decisions to make that new relationship public. With more groups than ever in the history of our church, God has used 2020 to grow our faith and call us into a closer relationship with Jesus. Rather than retreating when the challenges have come, God has helped us adapt and evolve in ways never before possible. This year, we launched a full online experience for both kids and students. Over 2,700 kids are learning about Jesus through Kids Planet, and nearly 2,000 6th through 12th grade students are challenged in a fun and Christ-centered community through Remix. When it seemed like holiday traditions were being canceled left and right, over 700 of you volunteered to help pull off our first ever Sagebrush Spooktacular drive-through event, hosting almost 4,000 vehicles filled with about 20,000 people, giving them a sense of normalcy in this chaotic time. As they say, hindsight is 2020, and when we look back at the year, We started off as a church reaching close to 16,000 people in person and online. And through it all, through the ups and downs this year has brought, God has transformed our humble church with campuses in New Mexico and Belize into an online community of faith, sharing the life-giving, never-stopping, world-changing message of Jesus to over 76,000 people each week. But we really wouldn't be able to do any of this without our 3,900 VIP team members using their gifts to serve in new ways. So as we look forward to what God has in store for us this next year, we want to say thank you to all of you who have invested your time, your prayers, your finances, and your lives to the mission God has for all of us. Thank you for trusting in God, for being brave, and for choosing to pursue faith over fear. Bring on 2021, because we know as much as God has so far, the best is yet to come.